Hello and welcome to week 2 unit 4 of our openSAP course SAP Cloud Application Studio for SAP Business by Design. I am Guru Prasad, your instructor for this unit. In the previous unit, we have seen data can be created into custom business object through user interface and through web service. In this unit, XML file input, we will see how to upload mass data into custom business object. XML file input can be used to import data from a third party system into a business object. When XML file input is created in SAP Cloud Application Studio, an XML schema is generated. Based on this XML schema definition, an XML file can be created to import data into SAP Business by Design. You can create and schedule runs through the file input run available under Application and User Management to import the data into SAP Business by Design system. With this, let us log in to the SAP Cloud Application Studio and create an XML file to import the data into the custom business object. Okay, so here we are in the SAP Cloud Application Studio. Let us go ahead and create the XML file input for the job profile custom business object. So, for that I right click on the business object and select the option create service integration. So, here we are, we have seen already the internal communication and the web service in the previous units. So, I will go ahead with the XML file input for now, click on next, give a name for this. Let us say give us job profile mass upload, and the receiving business object is the job profile BO and it is the root node. I retain as such and I click on next. So, here we specify the fields which we want. So, I select the job ID, the title, posting date, domain, employment type, hiring manager ID, job location, the job end date and the status, and I select this readable ID as job ID and I click on next. This is by alternative key and job ID retain as such and I click on next and I click on finish. Yeah, so there you go, we have created the PID file. So, I need to save and activate to generate the schema. So, I do that. The item is activated successfully. I close this and relaunch the PID file to ensure that I see the schema. So, there you go, you see the schema definition now .xst. So, I click on this and I download this to my desktop and I click on save. So, the schema is downloaded. Let us go ahead and open this in an Excel now. To do so, I go into the developer tab, click on the source and click on the XML maps, provide the file which we have just downloaded in the previous step. Select this and click on open and click on OK. Now, let us drag and drop the fields. First select the creation date and time, I need a header. So, I select this option, place XML heading to the left, and then now let us drag and drop the remaining fields for the job profile. So, here it is. So, select the job profile structure which we just created, and I drag and drop it here, and I place heading above, and I do want certain attributes here. So, I would go ahead and select these and click on delete, and I do not need these schema fields as well. So, select them and delete that. So, now here we have the XML file input ready. We could go ahead and enter the data and then see how to import this into the SAP Business by Design. For now, I will just create one record and then show you how to import this. So, let me give a job ID here. Let us say I give a job ID 75, give a title. Let us say this is for a support engineer. I do not do anything with the language code. I provide the posting date. Let us say this is active from 1/1/2019, and the domain here we need to provide the code values to the from the code list which we have created. So, I specify 01, the employment type also as 01, the hiring manager ID, let us say I give it as E0001, the job location, let us say I want this for country India, and the job end date, let us say I want this to be active till 01/01/2020. And the status of the job profile which I want to import should be in the draft status or in the open status. So, I provide 01. Now, we have created the data what is required. See, we export this data into an XML format and then import this into the SAP Business by Design. So, for that I click on this export, I select the desktop, and I provide a name for this XML file, job profile mass upload.xml, and I click on export. Now, let us go into the Business by Design and see how do we import this XML file into the system. For that, you could go into the application user management and file input. It lists you all the active runs. For now, we would like to go ahead and upload the existing file. For that, we could go on the unprocessed files, click on add, and specify the service integration. What we created just now is the job profile mass upload input. I select the same and browse, and you could just provide the XML which we just created. So, it would be the job profile mass upload XML. I click on open, I click on OK. So, now if you refresh, you could see that the XML file has been placed here. Now, we could go ahead and import this. So, for that we need to create a run. So, let me create a new run for this, provide a run ID. Let us say I specify the run ID as 15 and the run description as job profile mass upload, and I have to specify the service interface code is this, and then you can see the name here, job profile mass upload input. I click on save. The status is in preparation. To schedule this, we need to change the status to active. Let me do that. I set to active. Click on save and close. I could see this entry now. Let us go ahead and schedule this job. I click on schedule, and I want to start this job immediately. So, I retain the same status and click on save and close. So, now once the system is executed this run, then we could see the entry in the job profile BO. So, let us wait for the job to finish. Yeah, there you go, the job is finished. So, let us go and check if we have got the data into the system. So, you go to the job profile BO. Yeah, so there you go, you see the entry now that the data which we provided in the XML file input has already been imported into the SAP Business by Design system. Yeah. So, with this I finished the demo, I go back to the slides. To recap, in this unit we understood the concepts of XML file input, created an XML file input in the Cloud Studio, created the mass data run to import data into the custom business object. You can get a hands-on experience on how to create the XML file input, which is available as an exercise for this unit. The next unit is about data sources and reports, and my colleague Tiju Thomas will be your instructor. That's it for me, and I hope you enjoyed the course so far, and I'm sure you will enjoy the rest of the course as well. Have a good day and happy learning.